In a world where nearly everything is measured by speed, productivity, and constant motion, there exists a creature that has chosen an entirely different path. Deep within the emerald heart of the tropical rainforest lives the sloth, a quiet wanderer whose life unfolds at a pace so slow that it almost seems detached from time itself. Tonight, leave behind the ticking clocks, the endless notifications, and the pressure to move faster than yesterday. Step instead into a forest where sunlight filters through layers of ancient leaves, where warm rain drifts through the canopy, and where life follows a rhythm far older than human ambition. There, hanging among the branches, lives a sloth named Sid. At first glance, Sid appears almost motionless. Suspended upside down from a towering tree, he seems less like an animal and more like part of the forest itself. Moss grows upon his fur. Tiny insects wander through his coat. Birds occasionally perch nearby without concern. To many observers, his stillness might seem like laziness. But the forest knows better. Every movement Sid makes is deliberate. Every stretch of a claw, every turn of his head, every slow journey from one branch to another carries a quiet purpose. While other creatures race through the canopy searching for food, territory, or mates, Sid has mastered something far rarer. He has mastered patience. Each morning begins not with urgency, but with observation. As mist rises from the forest floor and golden light spills through the leaves, Sid slowly opens his eyes and listens. He listens to distant waterfalls hidden among the trees. He listens to the songs of birds greeting the dawn. He listens to the steady breathing of the rainforest itself. The world around him is always changing, yet he remains calm, anchored to the present moment. Many years ago, when Sid was young, a powerful storm swept across the rainforest. Winds tore through the canopy with terrifying force. Branches snapped. Vines twisted in every direction. Animals fled in panic as thunder rolled through the sky. Yet while chaos erupted around him, Sid simply tightened his grip on the tree that had sheltered him since childhood. He pressed his body against the bark and waited. Hours passed. Rain poured from the heavens like rivers. The forest shook beneath the storm's fury. But Sid never panicked. He could feel the strength of the ancient tree beneath him. Deep underground, its roots remained firmly anchored to the earth. The tree did not fight the storm. It bent with it. It endured. And so did he. That night taught Sid something he would carry for the rest of his life. Survival is not always about resistance. Sometimes it is about trust. Trust in your foundations. Trust in your place within the larger world. As the years passed, Sid became one of the quiet observers of the rainforest. Butterflies often rested upon his fur, mistaking him for part of the landscape. Small orchids occasionally bloomed near the branches he favored. During the rainy season, droplets gathered on his coat like tiny crystals, reflecting fragments of sunlight throughout the canopy. The rainforest never demanded that he hurry. In return, he never demanded that the rainforest explain itself. This silent agreement brought him a kind of peace that many creatures never discovered. While monkeys raced overhead in endless competition, Sid watched. While predators hunted through the undergrowth, Sid watched. While entire generations of birds arrived and departed with the seasons, Sid watched. And through all of it, he learned. He learned that fear often arrives long before danger. He learned that impatience creates suffering where none existed. He learned that much of what others desperately chase disappears as quickly as it arrives. One particularly harsh dry season tested the entire forest. Water became scarce. Food grew harder to find. Tensions rose among many animals competing for limited resources. Sid watched them exhaust themselves in endless conflict. For the first time, he felt a deep compassion for the restless lives unfolding around him. He understood their struggles. He understood their fears. Yet he also understood something else. The forest had existed long before any individual creature arrived, and it would continue long after they were gone. Against such vastness, many worries seemed remarkably small. This realization did not make him indifferent. Instead, it made him gentle. The older Sid became, the more he embraced his role as a quiet presence within the rainforest. He never became a leader. He never became a legend. Yet countless creatures found comfort in his stillness. A young bird sheltering from rain would rest near him. A butterfly would pause on his shoulder during its migration. Even the wind seemed to soften as it passed through the branches around him. Without speaking a single word, Sid became a reminder that there was another way to live. Not faster. Not louder. Simply calmer. Years drifted by like falling leaves. The thick fur that once resembled dark moss began to show signs of age. His movements became even slower. His eyes carried the weight of countless seasons spent beneath the rainforest canopy. Yet there was no sadness in him. Only acceptance. He had witnessed storms rise and vanish. He had watched trees grow from saplings into giants. He had seen rivers change their course and forests renew themselves after hardship. Everything changed. And that was precisely what made each moment beautiful. One misty morning, as silver fog floated between the treetops, Sid climbed higher than he had in many years. Slowly and carefully, he made his way toward a branch overlooking a vast sea of green stretching to the horizon. This had always been his favorite place. Here he had watched sunsets paint the clouds gold. Here he had listened to distant thunder rolling across the mountains. Here he had spent countless quiet hours simply existing. As he settled onto the branch, the forest greeted him with familiar sounds. Leaves rustled softly in the breeze. Birds sang somewhere far below. Sunlight danced across the canopy like liquid gold. Sid closed his eyes. There was no fear. No regret. No struggle. Only gratitude. Gratitude for every rainstorm that had taught resilience. Gratitude for every sunrise that had illuminated the forest. Gratitude for every slow and ordinary day that had quietly become a life. As the afternoon light faded, the rainforest continued its eternal rhythm. Life moved through the branches. Rivers flowed beyond the trees. Clouds drifted across the distant sky. The world carried on. And somehow, that felt perfect. Because Sid had never sought to conquer the forest. He had only sought to belong to it. Though his physical presence would one day fade into the vast story of the rainforest, the lessons he embodied remained. His patience lingered in the ancient trees. His calmness echoed in the quiet spaces between birdsong. His wisdom flowed through the roots hidden beneath the soil. Even now, if you close your eyes and imagine yourself standing beneath a towering rainforest canopy, you may feel a trace of his presence. A reminder that not every journey requires speed. A reminder that stillness can be its own kind of strength. A reminder that a meaningful life is not measured by how quickly you move, but by how deeply you experience the moments you are given. As night settles over the rainforest and the stars begin to appear beyond the leaves, allow these thoughts to rest beside you. Let the warm forest air carry away your worries. Let the rhythm of the trees slow your breathing. Let the quiet wisdom of a sloth named Sid remind you that peace is not something to chase. It is something that has been waiting patiently within you all along. And perhaps, somewhere in your dreams, you will find yourself beneath those ancient branches, listening to the gentle sounds of the rainforest, while a quiet sloth rests peacefully above. Not lost. Not forgotten. Simply at home within the slow and beautiful rhythm of the world.